I grew up in Lawton. It's a really small community. I graduated with about 66 kids, so I kind of laugh when people are like, oh, I'm from a really small town, and I'm like, I'm from a really small town. I think for the most part, there's a pretty significant group in Lawton that's definitely struggling. There's a few more upper class families, I would say, that are prominent, that kind of hold the community together. We have a big family that basically bought our football field, helped redo the high school, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's a really struggling community. I was a co-founder originally with one of my good friends, and actually when I turned 18, I took over presidency of Buddy Bags Incorporated. I'm sitting in church, my mom's to my right, my dad's to my left, and my brother's down the pew somewhere. And our church started talking about this backpack program that they did with a local community. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool. It really drew my attention because I was still a young age where church was kind of okay, I'll go. And they talked about filling backpacks, feeding kids in the local communities that their family was struggling. And I looked over to my mom and I grabbed her hand. I was like, we're doing this. We need to do this in Lawton. Lawton is this community. I see this every day. I see this in my classmates. And I was like, we're doing this.
She really said to us, we've got to start this. The concern was, it's got to be now. There's not a huge time frame.
The idea my church had was they would contact families who were below a significant poverty line, and they would ask them if they needed food assistance or any type of assistance. If they agreed, they would pack bags throughout the week, any days, and send them home with the kids, and the kids would bring them back on Monday or Tuesday throughout the week. And so we kind of just started that up in Lawton. I got a hold of some people, knew everyone, talked to the counselors, the principal, my dad, who was a big part of it, my mom, and I was like, we're doing this.
And so we started putting the wheels in motion, and between using our numbers for free and reduced and the families that we knew needed the need through our counselors, we kind of coordinated the program that way to see what families we could come up with and contact and see if they would accept the program, because there's a lot of pride, a lot of pride in the community of having help.
It was a good idea that the kids in Lawton had some food for the weekend, food for the long holiday break. She was very concerned about our high number of free and reduced lunch students and thought that they needed to have something on the weekend to make sure they were provided for. At the time, Jenna was president of our student council, and I was the advisor. She was the treasurer of the NHS, National Honor Society, and I asked her if she wanted either one of those programs to take this on. And she said, no, Mom, this is something I have to do. This is just something I have to do.
It's one thing to say we want to do this program. Now where's the food going to come from? We know that the community is very, very involved in helping causes. And so by getting the word out, not only through the employees in the district, a lot of them in my food service, I had family members that were like, this is a great idea. Where do you want the food? Where can we bring the food? That winter also there was a food drive at our middle school that they had donated in the past to food pantries and said, well, we're going to donate that to Buddy Bags.
Our middle school did a can drive, and we had a whole classroom full with cans at the end of the day, and it was probably one of the coolest things I've ever done, because growing up in Lawton, when we did can drives and stuff, it was always kind of a flop, but they really advertised it, and that was so awesome to me. I walked into this classroom and literally the cans were falling out of the door.
This grew into something where every week Jenna and Xander would pack the backpacks on Thursday nights, and then they would deliver them to the elementary school on Fridays. We decided to deliver to the elementary schools because there's a lot less intimidation at that age level.
I went through all the schools here, and my family is here. And so I'm always looking for something to do to help the town, and I love helping people and seeing a difference for the town. And I thought that giving children more food to eat on the weekends would be a great way to start and to help.
To keep with the anonymity of it, we had backpacks numbered 1 through whatever, 1 through 10, 1 through 20, and they would pack maybe food for 3 or 4 children in bag 1. Bag 2 might have 6 kids or 1 child, and those bags were packed and delivered to the teachers' classrooms. And the student, Jenna and Xander, only knew the name of, or the backpack number that went to the classroom name. They didn't know the child's name at all.
One of my friends came up to me and started like talking to me, and she happened to be in one of the families, and I was just shocked. Like, I had no idea because it's totally anonymous, and I was just like, this is, like, it really kind of hit me. And I think that moment I really like gave myself fully to the Lord. I was like, I understand, like, this is what I'm doing, and like I'm here for more than like me. I'm here for other people, and like I'm here to do His will. And I think that really like set me straight, and it really got me pumped to come here too.
You know, as a sophomore, you're thinking, wow, you're thinking way outside of the box. You're more concerned about this family or their future than your own. Not even thinking where that was going to take her. And, you know, it makes you proud, obviously, as a parent. And to see her do that, it was, I wouldn't say it was shocking, it was just at that age, to be more concerned with your, you know, your colleagues or your friends or your family or your community over yourself.
Without the community, for sure, and like without my parents and my friends and everyone who's helped me pack bags and be there, like there's no way this could happen.
Doing what may not be the most popular thing at the time and may be kind of on the edge, and having the strength to put your convictions into that and not worry about what someone else thinks, not worry about what someone else says. That's in your heart, you know that's right. And to know it, but to act on it, once you act on what you know, to me that's courage.
Courage is not just to say something, but to do it.
I'm always one for the underdog, and I like the underdog, and I want people to like come through and shine, and I just love that. I love that little things can like make a big impact.